am I musty? And the answer was yes.
I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I make them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-tag. Yeah, watch a nigga do it.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to beat the Texas heat, and let's get into this extended hygiene care routine. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, I did do kind of a rapid fire version of this routine, but I think this will allow me to go into each product, why they work for me, and why you should add them to your routine as well. Now, my credentials for this are that I am almost 200 pounds, I live in Texas, and I get compliments all day on how I smell. So I really feel like I can vouch for the girlies with this routine. So let's get straight into it. So my tool of choice when it comes to the shower, first and foremost, is my African net sponge. I've been using an African net sponge for about 2 years. Now, I haven't been using the same African net sponge for 2 years, even though they say that it's good for that. I kind of like to change it out when it's not like as springy and bouncy anymore. So when it doesn't do this anymore, I definitely like to change it out, because to me that just means it lost its sparkle a little bit, and you want to be careful and replace things right when they're worn as to not cause any harm to your routine. I do put that in the washing machine as a normal garment, but what I also do is get a bowl and put some white vinegar in it and some boiling water just to make sure that I'm getting all the bacteria out. I do use a white towel, but that's just like on my hind parts, which we'll get into that a little bit later. Now that we're done talking about tools, let's get into some products and how I use them. The first thing I go in with is my mandelic acid body wash from Naturium. If you follow me on TikTok, you've seen me rave about this. I've been using this product, I want to say, for like a year now. This is mandelic acid, so it is targeting odor specifically, which I absolutely love. And then it has a cooling effect. So sometimes when I get out of the shower, I still feel a little sticky because like it's literally just hot outside. But the cooling effect in this product just makes me feel very refreshed, even when it's 105, which we know it is all the time. I also like to use a fun body wash in the shower as well, and most of the time it's this EOS. I do use Saltaire sometimes, but only in the driftwood scent for now. I don't know why I haven't branched out, but I do like that body wash as well. But I use the EOS body wash and coconut waters. I think I also have like the fresh and cozy one. I really like these as well. These don't flare up my eczema because I'm a sensitive skin, eczema prone girly, and it doesn't really affect me like that, so I really do like to keep these in rotation. Now, for the downstairs front area, I use this Monistat boric acid wash. I like this because it's really gentle, it's fragrance free. I haven't had any issues with my actual lady parts. And then I want to talk about the mons pubis for a second, the top part of the coochie. That, to me, like, I kind of treat that like I would the skin on my face. Like, she has a whole routine. This does not upset the top part at all. I know that we are prone to ingrowns, us curly girls, and this doesn't contribute to like stripping that skin of that moisture either. So I really love this, and I'll keep this on my team for sure. Now, I usually have a spare bar of Dial soap that I can show you, but I also wasn't going to bring like my mangled bar that's in the shower. I use Dial soap for the hind parts in the back. I use just a regular white towel. I lather it up with the Dial and use that and rinse it as normal. I've been doing that for a while now, some years. Before that, I was using like the Lumi back there as well, but I mean, it's hot. I wanted to change my routine, so I had to amp it up. But yeah, that's what I use for next that. We're going to talk about what we do when we get out of the shower. So that is a really critical part. What we just did was get rid of the odor and give us a really good foundation to not have any odor. So now what we're going to do is make sure that it stays away all day. So what I like to do is dry off my skin, not necessarily like my entire body, because I like to apply some of my body care to like damp skin. But what you're going to do is dry off like the hot spots, right? So like I said, I'm a little chubby. I'm going to dry under my breasts very thoroughly. I'm going to dry under my arms. The space between my lady parts and my legs those are going to get dried off really well. And then the back door is going to get dried off really well too. I like a couple of different deodorants. The one that I've been reaching for the most right now is the Secret Clinical Strength, because it's hot outside and I don't have time to play. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, you know I said I'm a natural girly. I love to use natural deodorant, and that is still very much true. But when I have events or situations that I can't really afford to take a L in, I'm gonna wear the Secret Clinical Strength for sure. On the days where I have lower activity or it's just not as hot outside, I do like to use Lumi. This one is not an antiperspirant, it's just a deodorant, and that's kind of why I don't like to take my chances with it, because as much as I don't want to stink, I don't really want to sweat either. So this one doesn't do it for me. Now, I am aware that they have a sweat control Lumi. I just didn't like it. I kind of had like a little rash afterwards, so I kind of just let that one go. It wasn't for me. Also, it smelled a little bit different, so you know, it was cool. Thank you for letting me try it, but I didn't like it. So yeah, I used this one. Another one that I really like, and you can tell by how much I've used it, is the Saltaire AHA deodorant. This one controls sweat a lot better than the Lumi one, but like I said, on the days where I need something bulletproof, I kind of just skip out on this one. Like, I don't know, like I actually did have a day where I was at work and it was super active. Like, I burned over like 1,000 calories that day because I was just moving, climbing on stuff. And at the end of the day, I said, am I musty? And the answer was yes. So I just couldn't really play in that moment. I decided to go back and get me some chemicals because some occasions just call for it, okay? I also like to use the whole body deodorant from Lumi. I use this, like I said, I'm chubby and I am a 36 I cup. So I take a pea-sized amount of this and put it in between my boobs and under my boobs as well, because those places tend to sweat, not as much as my armpits, but they do sweat. So I don't want that sweat to cause odor, because we know it's not the sweat that's causing the odor, it's the bacteria eating the sweat that's causing the odor, okay? I also do put this in like the V-crack between my lady parts and my inner thigh. I put it there as well. It doesn't give me a reaction on the top skin of my lady parts either, so I really like that this is sensitive and very user friendly. And then I also take a pea-sized amount of this and put it in my butt crack as well. Now listen, the language that I'm using, it's gonna get uncomfortable. That's okay, we're gonna get uncomfortable, but we're not gonna stink. So there's that. And then moving on to the base body care, before you get into all of the fragrances, all of the oils, all of the things, we're gonna go ahead and go in with a pretty thick type of lotion. So one of my favorites for that is this La Roche-Posay Triple Repair Cream. I enjoy this. It was a little bit too thick for my face, which I never thought I would say because I'm a moisturizer girl. I really do like to slug at nighttime and have a thick, I was about to say something crazy. I really do like to slug at nighttime and have a nice barrier on my face when I go to bed. But this was too thick for me, so I really enjoy using it on my body before I apply any oils or anything like that. And the next one is this Cetaphil moisturizer. I thoroughly enjoy this as well. I've been using this for years and years and years. I've been using this since high school. I'm not gonna age myself, but it's been a long time. And I enjoy the fact that they never reformulated this, or even if they did, there wasn't a difference in the performance. It's been consistent for over 10 years now, and I absolutely love it for my body. I use it on my face as well, but it's not as thick as that other one, so I can get away with using it in that way. So I hope that I gave you a good foundation. If you've been struggling with hygiene, girl, it's normal. Like, it's literally okay to go back to the drawing board, watch a bunch of YouTube videos, figure out what works for you, figure out what doesn't work for you, and just go from there, okay? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Next, we'll likely get into skincare, because I do get a lot of questions about that, but I also don't have time to run through it on TikTok, because you're not going to want to sit there and watch a 10-minute video on TikTok. So love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me again this week, and again, let me know what you want to see.
You got a 2-day trial before I take back my